afternoon, Mr. Hook. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Mr. Hook, you've been charged in case 23 CR 005812B with battery. I've been told by pretrial that this is Mr. Hook's first arrest. Let's see, who's presenting for the state?
ASG Pierre Thomas, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre Thomas. You can proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me put the camera off. All right, Your Honor, the facts of this case is that on September 27, 2023, officers were dispatched to a person stab call. Once on the scene, the officer met with both the victim in this particular case, and I do believe that this is a cross warrant case, but the victim in this particular case, Mr. Ibrahim Williams, who advised that he was stabbed in his room. After speaking with both parties, it was determined that the victim, Mr. Williams, was not stabbed, but he was cut by glass due to a physical altercation. Mr. Williams advised that it all started when the defendant, Mr. Hook, confronted him about leaving dishes in the sink. The victim stated that the defendant got upset because he was ignoring him and that the defendant walked towards him and tapped him on the shoulder repeatedly. The victim proceeded to push and strike the defendant. During the altercation, the victim slammed a glass door and to get away from the defendant, who had a plastic knife. The glass broke. The defendant ran towards the glass and continued to assault the victim, pushing and shoving him. Both parties suffered lacerations as a result from the glass. Your Honor, the recommendation from the state in this case is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact, a stay away from the incident location, and one anger management course. And because this is a cross warrant, I'll just, state that the victim is Ibrahim Williams in this case. However, obviously, for obvious reasons, we were not able to get in contact with him.
Okay, who's representing Mr. Hook?
It's me, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod. And Ms. Kim, are you representing Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll see if we can take Mr. Williams's case next. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
We have no objection to the signature bond, Your Honor. My client is 28. He's never been arrested. This is his home, by the way. His name is the only one on the lease. He tells me that he's been living at that particular location for almost 2 years. His name is on the lease. His cousin, who was living there with him previously, asked him if he would allow the cross-defendant to live there with him. And he tells me that the cross-defendant, he just asked him about some dishes that, he keeps the apartment very messy. And he just had a discussion. And the warrant specifically states that he tapped him on his shoulder. People do that all the time. And that was when the cross-defendant attacked my client. The warrant even states that the cross-defendant was the one that slammed the door and caused the glass to break, and that he was cut, Mr. Williams, because he slammed the door and broke the glass. My client did not attack him. He was the primary aggressor. He attacked my client. I would ask the court if there's going to be any stay away, that it is Mr. Williams who would be asked to stay away from this location, and that my client be able to go back to his home. Mr. Williams has only been living there for the past 2.5 months. My client, this is his home. And that there be no further contact with them, but that my client gets to go back to his home. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ibrahim Williams, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Courtroom 2, can we take position number 21, Mr. Ibrahim Williams next?
Yep, he's on the way.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Hook.
Your Honor, the court didn't say what would happen with respect to the home. My client's name is the other one on the lease.
Okay, I didn't say anything because I'm not going to leave him away from his home. So no, there's a no further contact, but he can go back to his home, given that he is the one that's the leaseholder and was allowing apparently Mr. Williams to stay with him. So I'm not going
That
to
is
keep him
correct,
from
Your
his
Honor.
home. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Let's see. Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You've been charged, Mr. Williams, in case 23 CR 005821B with battery. Afternoon, Mr. Howard. Can you tell me the history?
Hey, it's the fifth arrest, 2021, sale of marijuana, possession of drug-related objects, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission, 2019, suspended license and probation violation. That's it.
Okay, this your case, Mr. Walker?
It is, Your Honor. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine. I missed you at SAP this morning.
Miss you too. In this case, we'll just be asking for the same exact conditions imposed in Mr. Hook's case. So that would be a signature bond through pretrial services, the 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with the cross defendant, Lamar Hook, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Okay, and any objection to any of that, Ms. Kim?
No
Good afternoon.
objection, Your Honor. We just need one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to the so he can get his personal belongings, Your Honor.
Okay, so it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Hook, stay away from the address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Your client has his hand up, Ms. Kim.
Mr. Williams, please feel free to call me. I do not want you to speak. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you, so please stay silent.
This
Good
per
luck to you,
judge.
Mr. Williams.
This one is per judge. I don't remember if he was recommended.
Okay, per judge, that's fine, Mr. Howard, thank you.
Next,
Is
up,
it-
we have a private attorney case. It's going to be position number 18, Ms. Vargas.